Are you searching? Are you searching for divine? Not surprised. There is a divine within every one of us. Yet, while it is hidden behind our eyes, or maybe because of it, we do not see it. So we look around. We made statues to represent it, to get in touch. We built temples to house it. Yet, it's not there. So we look further, beyond statues and books. So we thought the divine to be in some inaccessible places, the high mountains and depths of the ocean. We deepened our knowledge and took a look at those places. Yet it is not there. So we looked for the divine further beyond our sky and into the universe, believing that the divine, or the God, is beyond the universe, beyond the existence. We don't know yet, but easy to say that we will not find it there. Such a huge distance to find what is already within our grasp, what has always been in our reach. Peace. It is an honor to have you here. There is a problem with spirituality and religion. Spirituality is personal transformation, reaching beyond physical, seeking of greater things. Religion is a social club. Especially nowadays, we see spiritual people seeking spirituality and actually turning within themselves. And so religions are suffering because people do not join their social clubs. These social clubs offer material advantages, but less and less we can see any actual spirituality. Why? Because spirituality needs to be sought in silence and solitude. But religions need to be loud and noisy if they want to compete with others for They sell souls, but in all honesty, they mean money. What is spirituality? People usually believe that in order to be spiritual, you need religion. But as a mystic, I have to disagree. Religions were always here to divert people from spirituality, much rather than for seeking it. Spirituality is a work with your own soul, refinement of your soul and mind, bettering of yourself. On my own path, left-hand path, this process is taking yourself and transform yourself into something divine, an immortal vampire in my case. But you can call it whatever you want. An angel perhaps. The name doesn't matter. What does matter is that you do it. For that reason, I call myself Dark Mystic. Now, are there religions that could be spiritual by any chance? Personally, I do not think there are. Age doesn't make a religion more reliable, it just makes it older. And I don't even have to look into history. Where there is a group of people, a hierarchy forms and social club is born. No matter what they do, no matter what practices they do, they watch over each other and do not have time to look into themselves. They do not have a chance to explore who they are and how to become their own authentic selves. Religion only makes copies and develops uniformity. Even mystical orders degenerate easily and become social clubs. Why, if they are founded by successful mystics? Well, because followers of mystics are not authentic. They won't seek their own path, they emulate the mystic. But they are not the mystic. The mystic shines so bright in their eyes that they become blind. Copies. Nothing but copies. We all have tendency to copy each other. That is our animal nature. But to develop another, the divine nature, we have to actually go against this animal and seek our own path. And that's hard. So, choice between a religion and independent path ends as a choice between what is right and what is easy. And that is true despite religion becoming as hard as possible. Do you want a tutorial? What to do to find your authentic selves? I said it already, and I can say it again and again. Take 3 days off. Move somewhere away from people and technology. Shut off the internet and be alone with yourself as only company. First day, you will be bored and feel strange. But second day, you will most likely recover and become very active, creative. Third day, ask yourself, what is it that you really want? Also ask, who are you? Or maybe I should say, who am I? I find it disturbing how toxic our society is for spiritual development. Yet we still have options. We still can get there and grow. The choice is still ours and we have chance to act upon it. And as I said, the choice is not enough. The deed is needed. And figuring out what to do is a real challenge. How to do it? That is where religions get us. They offer not working tutorials, but since everyone around us does that, we fall for it easily. Especially when we see so many cheering people deluded into believing how close they are to the divine. Yet there are not. So many people turn away from religions nowadays, and those that leave, especially into atheism, always say that they found out that there was no God, there was no spirituality, just manipulation. Religion is not spiritual. They, the atheists who deconstructed, they have proofs. Yet there is still that yearning for spiritual, the spark of our own divinity calling out to us, that it exists, that there is more than just matter. So we look around and forget that the calling came from within. Well, if we even realize that it was coming from within. But that is where we need to seek the answer. That is the only way to find and become authentic, even if not divine, still at least to be yourself. Now you might be thinking, but there are mystics in big religions. Well, you are correct. However, think about how many are there. You can count them on fingers. It is true, you can be a mystic and achieve enlightenment, ascension, or however you want to call it, through practice of mainstream religion. But, yeah, there is a but only if it is compatible with your authentic self. And that is something you cannot force or change. That is something you can only find out. You might be thinking that your religion is the right one. You can keep trying to enforce the love for that religion upon your heart, but if your divine spark, your true self, refuses it, there is nothing you can do, and one day you will become alienated from that religion, because your soul, your true self, desires self-expression and will do what it needs to do to make you live that, to become yourself, even if it means shattering your faith. In that case, you come towards disillusion, and what seemed to be inseparable part of you will become a dead skin that falls off you whether you want it or not. To be authentic is not easy. No matter what path leads to it for you, you are bound to be alone in the end. That is side effect of being truly unique. There is no other person that is really like you. Honestly, I'm starting to dislike the term sheeple. They are slave people. They want to follow and to be told everything. They follow church or tradition, and only when old and uninteresting to everyone, they are finally alone at the start of spiritual journey, listening to their soul for the very first time, and noticing their own dreams and the fact that the time they could spend being themselves is long gone. Do not become like that. Though our time is chaotic, to be yourself is not a privilege. It is a choice and battle uneasy to win. And to wage that battle, you better know what do you truly want. Time that you have for it is limited. I'm going to let you think about that. For now, thanks for your time. Go in peace and guard your heart well.